What's up everyone, my name's Alpha and today we're back with a Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Omega Ruby and today's challenge will be can I beat Pokemon Omega Ruby Hardcore Nuzlocke using only Psychic Shiny Pokemon. Now we'll run through the rules really quickly. Before that though, this video is sponsored by Likewise TV. Nowadays there are so many different types of streaming services you have to bounce around to watch your favorite shows, which not only makes it difficult but also stressful to relax and watch a show. This is where Likewise TV comes in as a problem solver. Likewise TV is a personalized streaming hub that makes it simpler to find what you want to watch regardless of the streaming service. It is as simple as a click and go. No more bouncing back and forth. With Likewise TV has a personalized recommendation feature that will cater to your personal interests to help you find new shows that you have not watched. All you have to do is scroll to find your favorite shows or search using the search bar and add them to your personal list. The watch list feature that helps me keep organized so I don't have to jump between services all the time. Just click and go. So please check out Likewise TV in the links in the description and the pinned comments down below. It'll greatly help the channel. So thank you so much for Likewise TV for supporting the channel and obviously sponsoring this video. If you guys can, please check out Likewise TV in the comment section and the pinned comments down below. Anyways, let's go back into the video. A lot of you guys have been showing a lot of love to the series. I really appreciate that. Let's set a new like goal for this week. If you guys can, please show some support on this video and the series in general. Let's aim for 700 likes on this video, as it really helped me out. And as well subscribing to the channel, as you guys will get weekly videos, actually multiple videos a week nowadays, because I've just been bumping around with these videos. And as well, all my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So if you guys want to be nicknamed after a Pokemon in my future challenge videos, just drop it in the comments and hopefully I'll pick you. You guys should know what a Nuzlocke is by now, but if you guys do not, we're gonna run down the rules real quick. Boom, the rules are on screen and also in the description as always. We're gonna add the hardcore rules on top of it to make it even more insane. One of my favorite hardcore rules is that there is a level cap, so it makes it more dreadful to play through, but it's gonna be fun. This is a fun challenge. Let's get into the challenge itself. So to begin off our challenge, we are gonna find out that there is no such thing as a psychic type starter in Pokemon Omega Ruby. So what we have to do is obviously kind of counter that by playing through the tutorial for a little bit. It's like 10 minutes of tutorial at most, possibly, and then we're gonna finally start shiny hunting in Route 3. Over here we're able to find ourselves a Routes. Our first encounter was a Routes, which is funny, but we have to wait until we find a shiny Routes. Our odds in this challenge video will be 1 in 1,500 to make it decently easier, but not too easy where we get a shiny too early. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time until we find ourselves a shiny Routes. Once we do find ourselves a shiny Routes, we're obviously gonna capture it, but unfortunately Routes has one move. Routes' only move is Growl, which is obviously not the best scenario, but it's not the worst. What we're gonna do is make it run out of PP using Growl and then struggle to death up into level 4, where it will eventually gain the ability to learn Confusion. A lot of people will be asking, how do we regain our HP? Do you have to keep doing it? No, we just gotta potion up, regain our HP, and we'll be fine. And another big question will be, why don't we just face against other Routes? Because obviously they don't have any attacks at all. That is a good idea. Doing that would have saved a lot of time if I made the opposing Routes struggle, but it also wouldn't work out because I would have had to struggle eventually as well. So it would have been a struggling fight, and it was whoever dies first. I think I would have lost that fight anyways. We had to go back and then heal up our Pokemon and then face off against some Wurmples that mostly use string shots and whatever, so we can knock them down, get to level 4, and then get Confusion, where we're still not done training up. We're gonna train up in the grass still. We're gonna keep training until we're level 11. At level 11, we're gonna get our first fairy type move. Routes is a psychic and fairy type Pokemon, and its evolutionary line is mainly that, apart from Gallade, where it's psychic fighting, which is a cool for typing. Once we get Disarming Voice, it's a wrap for everything. We can finally attack Poochyena and any dark type, and we do need that to advance through the game, as there is a little mini boss at the start of the game against this Team Magma Grunts. This Team Magma Grunt has only a Poochyena, and if you only have psychic at this point, you can't beat it. It's not possible. So we cleared through the first mini boss of the game very easily because our Routes has Disarming Voice, of course. And from there we're gonna head into Route 5, which I swear you can get an Abra here. Was it only in Emerald or like the original Ruby and Sapphire? But I swear, I promise you, I remember having an Abra from here, but there was no Abra. Abra's only found on Dewford Island in the cave. So we'll go there eventually, but we're gonna face off against the first gym leader in the game, We're gonna face up against Roxanne. Roxanne's gonna be the rock type gym leader of the game, and unfortunately for us, our routes is not that good. We're gonna start the battle against the Geodude using double team against it. Even though we're using double team, it still lands rock tomb. So hopefully it doesn't land anymore, as we're trying to boost up our evasion into a ridiculous amount where it's not allowing it to attack me at all. Now we want to keep routes, because routes into a Gardevoir, well, we don't have a choice because it's a female, so we can't even change it to Gallade. But routes into a Gardevoir will be very, very useful, as we knock out the Geodude first, and then the Nosepass comes out. Well, I mean, to be fair, if I do lose routes here, the run's over anyways, and I have to restart. Gardevoir is a great Pokemon. That's what I'm trying to say. Gardevoir is a great Pokemon. Luckily, we do end up beating the Nosepass without it attacking us at all, and we end up beating Roxanne very easily, as we're able to move on into Granite Cave. In Granite Cave, we could finally find ourselves an Abra in here. Now, we're going to take a little bit, because 1 in 1,500 is still a hard amount to find a shiny Pokemon. So we're going to be here for a little while, as we're searching for like a 10% encounter as well. We actually luckily find ourselves an Abra, but that's not the end of the battle here. We have 1 turn to catch this Abra. So we're going to throw out our Great Ball. We're going to try our best, and we actually end up catching it on our first ball. And we caught a shiny Pokemon in that. Abra is going to be very, very useful. Unfortunately, we can't evolve it into an Alakazam, so that's a problem in itself, but a Kadabra could be cool. As we're going to head into Dewford Island's gym next, we're going to face off against Brawly. Brawly is going to be the fighting type gym leader of the game. We're going to face off using our, unfortunately, level 16 routes. Routes actually can one-shot the Machop. Maybe I gotta stop talking smack to it, but maybe to confusion, 2-shot the Makuhita as it sand attacks me. And then we beat Brawly. Again, I said this multiple times, but I promise you, Brawly was much more difficult back in my day, back in the olden times of Ruby and Sapphire. I don't know what happened, but he's not that powerful anymore. From there, we can go into Slateport City. There is a few things for us to do. Now, the TM shop in this area, well, we're going to train up in the Soda Pop area first, and then head into the TM spots. The TM spots, nothing too useful for us in here. I mean, Thunder Wave, maybe Confide, maybe nothing too crazy. We want to get the Luck Incense first and then come back with more money, because it doubles the money we receive from beating a trainer, so that would be useful. As we're going to evolve our Pokemon into a Curlia and a Kadabra, and then head into Marlboro City to go into the supermarket, where we can get ourselves a TM for Charge Beam. Now, with the full incense, it actually garners a lot of money, as we're able to get a Charge Beam TM and also an odd incense, so our Pokemon's like boosted up pretty well. And also, we can go out and try to train up our Pokemon. We have a Kadabra now, so we're trained up very nicely. We wanted to get, you know, you see the level cap is 21, right? We want to kind of export that a little bit, get up to close to 22, but not 22, obviously. Once we get there, we're ready to face up against the next gym leader, but we want to go back first, all the way back to Petalburg Forest. Once we exit Petalburg Forest on the side of Rustboro City, we're going to get some cherry berries, and then we can go back and to face off against Watson. Watson's going to be the Electric type gym leader in the game, and he's going to start the battle against us using a Magnemite. He always wants to use Thunder Wave first, so if I use Charge Beam into him, I get a plus special attack raise against him. A second Charge Beam doesn't get me anything, actually. It's surprising. Doesn't get me a second one yet, but I'm able to Sight Beam and knock out his Voltorb, and then he's going to switch back out into the Magnemite, where I'm able to Charge Beam and get another special attack boost. From there, he's going to switch out to his ace, which is going to be the Magneton. His Magneton is going to take a Side Beam. About 3/4 of his HP is down, and then he's going to Supersonic me. We're going to pray and hope that we don't have ourselves in confusion in here, and lucky enough, we do Side Beam, knock out the Magneton, and we don't lose a single Pokemon against Watson, which I actually was prepared to lose one of my Pokemon. If it was someone, it would have been Kadabra, but actually worked out pretty well as we beat Watson and we get our third gym badge of the game. Now finally, we can move on. Now you might be wondering why I have two new Pokemon, Solrock and Spoink. After the Watson fight, I paused the recording because I needed to go pee. And I needed to use the bathroom and then get some lunch, and then when I came back to play more, I spent the next like 3 hours playing through the game. Unfortunately, I forgot to unpause the recording, and I went ahead without you guys. So unfortunately, we are missing some footage. But luckily, I fixed that by showing you guys that I caught some new Pokemon. But we're also gonna go back into the farmer's market and get ourselves some new incense. I know I'm hooked on incense, but they're gonna be useful as I got a rock incense for my Solrock. And we're gonna face off against the 4th gym leader in the game, which is gonna be Flannery. Flannery is going to be the fire type gym leader. Of course, nothing too scary for us. We're in rock rock polish with our Solrock first. I don't think that's needed because honestly, I think all her Pokemon are very slow to begin with. And my Solrock one-shots the Slugma with a Rock Slide, and also one-shots the Numa with a Rock Slide. And then the Torkoal comes out, obviously is going to survive one. It just sets up Sunny Day and it's over. It's honestly over at this point. 2 Rock Slides will end up beating down the Torkoal, unfortunately for it. And we get our 4th gym badge. Nothing as close as the Watson fight, honestly. But after that though, we do have access into the desert. Once we have access to the desert, we can search around in here. There is something for us. We can catch ourselves a Baltor in here if I ever want to play the game. Apparently I just want AFK here in front of this Cacnea, but I do search around. I do find ourselves a Baltor, a shiny Baltor, and not too many encounters. And from there, we're going to head into Petalburg City after that. Petalburg City, we're going to train our Pokemon up to level 30, closer to 31, but not exactly 31, as our Kadabra, as our Kirlia, Solrock, and Spoink is going to be the main members of our team. I just don't know what to do with Baltor, honestly. I've never used a Baltor like that, or Spoink, honestly. I never really used most of these Pokemon, but that's the fun part about doing these monolock shiny hardcore Nuzlocke, because you got to use what you have. All the resources you have, you got to use them. So we're going to start off the battle against the 5th gym leader in the game, which is going to be Norman, using our Spoink. Now I assume that it wants to use Yawn against me, which I was right. So I'm going to confuse Ray and then switch out into my Solrock. Now Solrock is going to be like, I assume my Solrock was going to be able to Rock Slide it to knock him out. He actually gets close though, about 3 shots, but then he recovers and then he tries to Yawn me down, which is annoying. I should have just kept using Rock Slide. Honestly, that was my mistake. So he's going to Yawn me as I switch out into my Spoink. And then I try to confuse Ray him and try to reset the battle. Unfortunately, he did not want to reset and Yawn me. He wanted to bludgeon my Spoink and knock it out. And unfortunately, we lose our first Pokemon just like that. So Spoink goes down. I switch out into my newly evolved Gardevoir. I'm able to Calm Mind and Psychic. Unfortunately, it just lives with like 1 HP. So I switch out into my Kadabra. Kadabra, that Charge Beam. It's going to knock out the Slacking nicely. And then he's going to switch out to his Vigoroth next. Vigoroth, I also learned Recover. Recover is going to be a great move. But Vigoroth comes on next. I decided to Reflect Up against him. He's going to Feint Attack. I survive it easily. And then a Side Beam will knock him out, actually. And then he's going to switch out to Slacking. In this scenario, I thought he's going to retaliate me. One of his Pokemon just went down. His signature move is Retaliate. And then he chose to use Feint Attack. And then crit me. He crit my Solrock. And my Solrock is gone. I was kind of excited to use Solrock. But now it's gone. And now I'm stuck facing off against it with my Gardevoir. We're down to 3 Pokemon. And we got 2 deaths just from 1 gym fight. We end up beating Norman though. So that's, I guess that's the least it could do, and we won't get another Pokemon into after the next gym. So that's kind of unfortunate for us. But we're in cleared through the Weather Fortress where Team Magma is. Nothing too serious in here as we face off against the next gym leader in the game. We have an Electric type move, so it's not too difficult. We're gonna face off against Winona. Winona is giving me the Flying type gym leader of the game, and we're gonna start the battle using our Kadabra against her. Charge Beam into her face as the Swallow just double teams for some reason. I missed the 2nd Charge Beam but hit the 3rd. I don't get a special attack raise on that one, which is fine, I guess. Altair comes on next, but I do have a special attack boost. So, Side Beam into a crit. I don't know if the crit matters or not. I think it does, but Side Beam would knock out the Altaria. And then he's going to switch out into his Skarmory. Now, Skarmory actually is kind of a threat. So, Skarmory is going to Sand Attack me first. As I miss my follow-up Side Beam, he's going to Steel Wing me, almost one-shots me, so I decided to switch out into my Fairy type for some reason. I could take the Steel Wing a little bit easier, but at least my accuracy isn't dropped, so Psychic will knock out the Skarmory, which is nice. And then she's going to switch out to a Pelipper. I'm able to Drain and Kiss it, regain my HP, and then it doesn't do any damage against me. So it's actually looking pretty easy, because Psychic will knock it out, and we end up beating Winona, finally, without losing a single Pokemon. No threat there. So we beat Winona for the 6th gym badge of the game, and finally we can progress and get some new Pokemon. Now I completely forgot that the Safari Zone is rubbish, like there is nothing in here. In this remake they really did not care about the Safari Zone at all. So we go in here and find ourselves a shiny Xatu. Once we do, of course, we're going to try to put it on our team. Xatu is a Psychic Flying type that I really don't remember. It's humongous in this game, look at this. Auras sprites or Auras 3D models, why is this so big? It's just humongous. I swear it's supposed to be smaller. But we catch the Xatu, put that on our team, and then head into Mount Pyre. In Mount Pyre, there is a place where we get Shadow Ball, just kind of take it over where everyone's mourning. So that's interesting. We also get the Medicham, foreshadowing our next Pokemon possibly. What am I saying? But we get the Medicham, we catch ourselves a Meditite as well. We have a Megastone for our Pokemon finally. Where did we get the Gardevoir? I think we probably get it in like Wally's house probably. But from there, we're gonna clear through the Team Magma hideouts. Nothing too crazy out here. And then we're gonna head into Moss Deep City. In Moss Deep City, there is a gym for us. There is the Psychic Gym. This gym looks kind of boring. There's nothing too much in this gym, like nothing crazy. It's not even like a remake or like they remade the gym at any point. It's like the gym in Ruby Sapphire is completely different. Actually, remember it, it's actually just like a spinning puzzle. It doesn't even make sense why it was the puzzle. So maybe this one's actually the better one. So I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna face off against Tate and Liza. In a hardcore Nuzlocke, always face off against Tate and Liza a few levels below them, because there's gonna be more fights after this where you can gain a lot of XP. There's no point of getting all your Pokemon to level 45. Then you might actually over level your Pokemon in a hardcore Nuzlocke against the next gym. So easily you can face off against Tate and Liza under level. We have Shadow Ball on both our Kadabra and our Gardevoir, which will knock out the Solrock on the first turn. And then the Lunatone is just a formality as we beat Tate and Liza. They have 2 Pokemon, 1 each in a double battle fight. It's not going to be easy for them. They chose the wrong thing. I feel like they should just give them more Pokemon. Let's keep going as we're going to catch our final Pokemon. We're going to go into the Team Magma hideout. There is a chance for us to catch ourselves a Staryu. In the previous gym, in Tate and Liza's gym, there is a Starmie I saw. I was like, wait a second, Starmie's a Psychic type? Why don't you just get that on my team? I completely forgot where to get Staryus and Starmies. But you can find them right here. If you fish hard enough, you'll find yourselves a Staryu in here, and shiny Staryu. Looking pretty good, I can't lie. So that is going to be our final member on our team as we catch the Staryu and evolve it into Starmie. And then we can finally head off and face off against Primal Groudon. Now before we actually face off against Primal Groudon, we're going to go back into Marble City, where we're going to get the team for Bodos, of course. Bodos is going to be useful because, well, you'll see. Next up, we're going to face off head to head with Primal Groudon. I don't know why they sent 10-year-old in this in the spacesuit, but it's all good. So we're going to face off against Primal Groudon. We're going to start off the battle against him using our Claydol. Claydol is obviously the ground type, also levitating. And that comes in handy as I'm able to Bodos him to start the battle. And then I can outspeed him because he uses Earthquake for some reason. So now I'm able to Earthquake him, do a lot of damage to him, about 3-shot him. And then he uses Lava Plume, which almost one-shots me in the sun, but I'm able to outspeed him finally. And then Earthquake him, and the only reason he lost is because he uses Earthquake on the first turn. I don't know why, but you know what, Primal Groudon, this is why he's prehistoric. From there though, we're gonna go into the final gym in the game. We're gonna face off against Watson. Watson is gonna be the water type gym leader of the game, and we're gonna play it safe. Unfortunately, we're gonna play it safe. We're gonna face off against Watson, and we're gonna start the battle using our Gardevoir against him. We're going to use Calm Mind right in front of the Love Disc. The Love Disc is nothing to us because it can Sweet Kiss me. It does what it wants, but I'm just trying to get my boost up. I'm trying to get +6 with my Gardevoir, and then I could Drain and Kiss whenever I want. Get my HP back. It's very, very simple, and eventually I will do that. I mean, just not letting the Love Disc attack me. One shot the Love Disc and get our HP back, so everything is kind of more like formality at this point. He's going to switch out to his Milotic. I hit myself in confusion, which is fine because I can still Psychic it whenever I want, or Draining Kiss at this point to get my HP back. But I'm able to knock it out in one shot, knock out his Wishcash in one shot as well, knock out his Celio in one shot as well, and finally his last Pokemon will be a Seaking, which I Psychic and one shot it as well, and we get our 8th gym badge from Watson, which shouldn't be a champion. I always say this, but he shouldn't be a champion. And from there we could go into Victory Road, where, I mean, Gardevoir just hard carries us in here. Gardevoir is such a good Pokemon. He's got to be up there in best Pokemon in Hoenn that everyone uses, because I remember using Gardevoir like crazy in my Ruby Sapphire playthrough. This is like a nostalgic trip right now. We're talking about Ruby and Sapphire like every single second. But we're going to clear through Victory Road as it's pretty easy with one of the better Pokemon in the game. And then we can head into the Elite Four as there's nothing too much for us to do. There's not any crazy TMs or anything that I have to show, but we're head into the Elite Four now, and we're gonna face off against the Elite Four itself. Now to start off our Elite Four challenge, we're gonna face off against Sydney. Cindy is going to be the dark type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle off against Cindy using our Claydol. Now Claydol is just going to take Absorb to Intimidate and do some damage against him. Switch out into my Medicham next and take a Crunch, and then I can Mega Evolve and then Brick Break. I do have High Jump Kick, but I won't use High Jump Kick because I'm not trying to risk the whole losing half my HP if I miss it things, especially when I'm using like 5 times right here. I'm using Brick Break 5 times and I should win this battle, but I also have Recovered just in case I do want to use High Jump Kick or I need to use High Jump Kick, and I could recover my HP to a point where High Jump Kick, if it misses, it's not too big of a deal. But I mean, at this point we don't really need it as we beat down Cindy and we beat down the first Elite Four member. Next up, we're going to face off against Phoebe. Phoebe is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member of the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using our Gardevoir, and now you know how Gardevoir is. Gardevoir just wants Calm Mind right in front of it, and that's the end of the battle essentially. Just Shadow Ball knocks out the Dusclops, and it's like, oh okay, one Calm Mind does all this? I think it does. Shadow Ball knocks out the Bayonet as well. The other Bayonet comes out, one-shots it, and then her Sableye gives me an opportunity to heal up my HP. So it is free at this point. Her final Pokemon will be a Dusknoir, so they can change Pokemon if they want to. They just choose not to. But I'm able to Shadow Ball. He lives it and then Fire Punches me. If I was the AI, that would not be my first play or in the first 10 moves of the game I would do. But she chose to Fire Punch me, and I'm able to Shadow Ball again, knock her out. And we get, well, we don't get anything. We beat the second Elite Four member, and we're going to face out against the next one in Glacia. Glacia is going to be the Ice type gym leader. No, she's not. Glacia is going to be the Ice type Elite Four member, and we want to spice it up. Use our Kadabra for once. We just spam setting up. It might get boring. This is why I play it safe, because I use Kadabra, I Calm Mind in front of it, and it crunched me, and I lose Kadabra, because I want it to be entertaining. I did it for you guys. I put another Def, I lose my Kadabra, and then I switch out to my Medicham. Medicham is going to Break. Well, he's going to bulk up first, and then Break will knock out the Glalie. Unfortunately, I forgot it has a Frostlass because I was still mourning the death of my Kadabra. So the Frostlass comes out, and I'm like, oh, of course it does. Of course it comes out. So I switch out to my Starmie, takes a Shadow Ball. It was not nice. It was a crit as well. So I can't even justify it because it's going to use Shadow Ball once again, and it's going to try to knock out something. I'm like, I got to sack it. I got to sack my Starmie. I'm so sorry. Starmie goes down, and then I'm like, that's another death. Why am I putting deaths on my counters for no reason? Well, I decided to go back to Overleveling and go into my Gardevoir. Gardevoir will Calm Mind in front of it, take a Shadow Ball. In the same turn that I boosted, I lose my special defense buff, which is kind of funny. But I knock out the Frostlass in the following turn, knock out both of them, luckily. Then she's going to switch out to a Walrein. It takes a Psychic, which I'm not too worried about. 2 Psychics will knock out the Walrein, which is nice. And then the final Pokemon will be a Glalie. I mean, should go down in one shot, as it does. As we beat Glacia, and that's the third one down. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Pokemon down that I've used. Unfortunately, we didn't even use Starmie that often. I was excited to use Starmie. Anyways, we're going to face off against the final Elite Four member, which is going to be Drake. Drake is going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member, and no more entertainment. We're going to play it safe. We're going to use our Gardevoir to start the battle against him. We're going to use Calm Mind running from the Altaria 2 times, looks like, and then Draining Kiss will knock out the Altaria. Get my HP back up, and then he's going to switch out to his Flygon, which I still outspeed, so Draining Kiss will knock him out in one shot. His second Flygon, which is with his versatile team, goes down as well, and then he switch out to his Kingdra. Draining Kiss. It's not even Moonblast, guys. It's Draining Kiss. It's Draining Kiss. It's like Absorb at this point. So Draining Kiss will knock out the Salamence as well, and we end up beating Drake. So it's kind of funny. Next up, we're going to go into the Champions Room, and we're going to face off against the champion of the game. We're going to face off against Steven Stone. 4 Pokemons left in our bag. Let's see if we could do it. So Steven Stone is going to start the battle against us using Skarmory. We're going to start the battle using our Xatu because we haven't used Xatu at all. We are going to Omnis Wind it and then do no damage against him. Calm Mind, and then he's going to almost destroy me using Steel Wing. So I was like, well, there goes Xatu. So Xatu goes down because, again, I don't know how to use Xatu. I was like, what do I use Xatu with? Like, what's his purpose right now? I should have used Roost on it. It does have Roost. I could have put on it. From there, I'm going to switch out to my Gardevoir. I'm like, okay, let me just stop messing around. I'm just going to set up in front of the Skarmory. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to set up and win. It's going to Toxic me. I was like, okay, I can still win. I can still win with this, timer on me. So I'm going to Shadow Ball, knock out the Skarmory. It's going to switch out to his Aggron, and I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know if I could beat this. I'm getting Psychic, doesn't even one-shot him to his 30, and then he's getting Iron Tail, knockout my poor Gardevoir. I'm like, don't tell me I lose this at the end. But luckily, I have Medicham. Medicham could Mega Evolve and bulk up in front of it. It doesn't have Drain Punch, which, you know, might be a blessing. So I could take a lot of Iron Tails whenever I want. Luckily, he keeps missing his Iron Tail at this point, so I can just keep bulking up. I get +6 on both my attack and defense. And also, I do have the move Recover, so I can use it whenever I want. I'm going to Brick Break into his Aggron, get it down to Sturdy, and then finish him off with another one. And then he's going to switch out to his next Pokemon, which is going to be Claydol. Brick Break, even though it's not very effective, he's still going to knock him out in one shot because I'm +6 Medicham. Mega Medicham as well. Creditly will go down because it's super effective, and as well Armaldo will go down because obviously it's +6. And then finally, his final Pokemon will be a Mega Metagross, and luckily I outspeed it. Does not outspeed me, so I'm able to Brick Break, knock out the Metagross, and we end up beating Steven Stone. Now, did we get lucky that Medicham had a Mega Stone and had a setup move at the end? Yes, but did we end up beating the challenge? Also yes. So we end up beating the challenge. So can we beat Pokemon Omega Ruby Psychic Hardcore Hardcore Nuzlocke, Psychic only, Shiny only. Psychic Shiny only, or Shiny Psychic Pokemon only. So something, we beat a challenge, we beat the challenge. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. You guys can, please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one, and some nicknames. And subscribe if you guys are not already. It'll greatly help my channel as we're going on to 50K. I said this earlier. Excited that we actually beat the game. Anyways, my name has been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and thanks for watching. Please check out Likewise TV in the links in the description and the pinned comments down below.